And this might be the last thing for the day. But when you really are on your journey and you decided to lock the fuck in, whatever you gonna call it, you decided to just, be a man, whatever it is. You gotta be alright with walking alone. Your friends are probably not going to be on your pace in life, alright? And they might hate you for that shit. They might feel some type of disdain towards you, and that's alright. That's not, and you don't need to hate the friends. You don't need to be negative in any type of way. You just need to distance yourself. You need to be okay with not having those old people in your life that are causing you comfort, because the best thing in life is always going to be that discomfort. And these friends are always around to provide comfort. Do you understand how this works? Like, you have friends and it kind of eases the pain of life because you are able to talk to people. But if you are not comfortable with yourself, which 9 times out of 10 most people just aren't, and they're not able to sit alone and be with their thoughts, so they need somebody they can vent and talk to. And that's what a friend is for. And that's cool. Sometimes you outgrow your friends, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's perfectly fucking normal. You outgrow places, you outgrow jobs, friends, relationships, family members. All things can be outgrown if you are bettering yourself. That's all it is. You are just on a track where you are getting better. And the places where you have been, the people are likely not getting better, or they have become comfortable where they are at. And you're not okay with that. You wanted to get out of there. And now that you're finally out of there, people are looking at you and they're upset and they want you to be back. Because remember, they were your friends. They literally helped you get to where you are. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be okay with the fact that sometimes you gotta leave people behind though. If they ain't willing to better themselves, then they don't deserve to be in the presence of somebody that's better themselves. You see what I'm saying? It takes a lot of work to get to a better spot. You don't get to just sit around and be comfortable and become better. And this is why you start becoming better and you realize, hey, I can't really be around the people that are comfortable being where they are, because I'm not like that anymore. And it's gonna cause some type of distance whenever we are around each other. And that's fucking normal. This is literally about growing up. And 9 times out of 10, you probably just ain't got no dad in your life because of the way that society is. They have fucked up the nuclear family to a point where the dad is no longer around. The mom is however she is. The children are traumatized. And the cycle repeats. Which is what I'm getting at here. So you gotta better yourself. You gotta learn and pick up some books, figure out, why do I think the thoughts that I think? Why do I feel the way that I feel? Why do I do the things that I do? And psychology is a great help with that. There's a lot of books on it. And you don't need to go to psychiatry. You don't need to be a psychiatrist to understand that, hey, my life is my life because of my choices. Everything in life I deserve, I have earned it, and I have worked for it. The good and the fucking bad. You gotta understand this. You wouldn't be anywhere in life if you weren't living the life. You see what I'm saying? You don't just get to point B. You don't just fucking teleport there. You understand what I'm saying? You had to make some choices along the way that have put you in a circumstance that you probably didn't like. And that's not a fucking wrong thing. That's not a bad thing. It's all about your perception. This is how they say your perception literally shifts your reality. It's all about what you are perceiving. What are you thinking? What are your visuals? And that's not like, oh, you're on a fucking trip and you're seeing all type of, no. What are you literally seeing for your life? Do you plan on doing anything with yourself? Do you want to help people? Do you want to guide people? Do you want to, make people money? Do you want to, teach people how to make money? What do you want to do with yourself? It's something I've come to understand. And this little path that I've become on, a lot of people get so upset because I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to be friends with them. I don't want to be around them, or whatever it may be, because I see the way that they are. You go on this journey and you get your discernment. Like I said in the previous video, women are a lot better at this naturally, but as a man, you come to grow into, okay, this guy, he's upset that I have this pretty woman next to me and he doesn't. He's jealous. You know what I'm saying? You will come to have these moments in life. And what I've noticed is that your dad knows this shit. He knows this shit, but he ain't around. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really reconnect with your parents as you get older. This is what it's all about. You gotta re-enter the childlike wonder. So you must become a child to your parents again. I said previously that as we grow up, your parents become your children, and you gotta do your best to not allow that to fucking happen. They put you in this world. You didn't. It's not the other way around. You might get older and you've grown, but that's still your mom, that's still your dad, and their problems that they had have nothing to fucking do with you and your relationship with them. I grew up watching this guy. Shout out Syndicate, Life of Tom. This is a guy in the UK. This man's family, his mom, I don't know the situation, but they divorced. But he was always at either his dad's or his mom, and they always were having family dinners. The bullshit that has happened in the past should not be holding you back any longer. It happened. All right, now it's time to move on. It's move forward time. And that's what I've learned over the years. I'm like, how the fuck? Because I remember growing up, and there's always if you have divorced parents, you probably can relate. There's always some type of disdain between them that they don't really like each other, And because of something that happened in the past that they don't really talk about, and that's not my business. I don't care about that. I care about, is that my dad? Do I know my dad? Do I know my mom? Can I say that I love them? Can I say that we have some type of bond? That's what you want to have in life. You don't want to be the type of person where, my parents, they kind of did me wrong as a child, so I just completely cut them the fuck off, and now I don't even have a mom. What are you doing? That's not God-like, that's not holy, and that's not emanating and embodying love, which is what God wants us to do. We're called to love each other like we are one another. You can't just treat people this way. It's fucked up, and that's what Satan loves, and that's why there's so much hatred in this world, because misery loves company, and this cycle just never ends. This is where people like me come into the picture, because I get this calling where I'm like, hey, I don't ever get this feeling to hate and be hold something on the past against somebody. I had a stepdad that literally just traumatized me, gave me all types of PTSD. He was fucking mentally, physically abusive, all types of shit, right? And I literally would love to this day get my get back, but I don't really hold it against him, because I know that his parents fucked him up as a child, and that's caused him to be the way that he is. And it caused so much shit. The cycle never fucking ends. This is why you have to embody love unconditionally. I don't give a fuck if your parents beat your fucking ass. You gotta forgive them. You probably deserved it, if we're being honest. And maybe you didn't. It's not that fucking deep. You're still alive. And 9 times out of 10, the parent oftentimes has realized their mistakes, and they are trying to own up, and they are trying to ask for forgiveness, and you aren't letting them. You're being hateful. And this is not what God wants. You got to learn to forgive. That doesn't mean you forget, and that doesn't mean you need to let these people back in your life, but you got to allow them to get that forgiveness. This is what God literally calls us to do on earth. You forgive and you love. This world has become so fucked up because we are not doing what God wants us to. There's a purpose for this life. God has a will. He wants us to act it out. You don't just get to come on earth and get rich and just buy mansions and cars and just feel all good about yourself, because you know what? Those type of people, they're always fucking miserable and they always want more. That's why they buy so much shit. But the people who are real religious, the real holy motherfucker, I'm not talking about the overly religious motherfucker, I'm talking about the real religious, the real people who have understanding of the truth. These people embody love, and they are able to help others because they have helped themselves enough to the point where they are able to give themselves back. I can give a piece of my love back. Jesus says to love thy enemy. What are you doing not forgiving your parents? Did they kill you? You're still here. Let it fucking go.